All right, we are live. Welcome to the 2021 Utah Safety Council Annual Meeting and Awards presentation. I am John Wojciechowski, the president of the Utah Safety Council. Thank you for joining us as we honor the safety accomplishments of Utah and its safety leaders in all industries. We are streaming live with an in-person audience from the boardroom of the Utah State Capitol. We are honored to have the Utah Highway Patrol Honor Guard here for our opening flag ceremony. Please stand as they present our nation's colors.
Attention. Ready. Forward march. Face. Present arms.
Please join me in the room and virtually as we recite the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Order arms. Ready, face. Post colors. Ready, face. Forward march.
All right, thank you. Please be seated. That was pretty cool. Yeah, collect myself here. Okay, as we proceed, if you're having any technical difficulties, and this is directed to the people that are watching live online, if you're having any technical difficulties with the live streaming platform, please email us at safety@utahsafetycouncil.org. There is also a Q&A feature with the live streaming platform, and we encourage you to use this if you have any questions during the event. During the presentation, our board chairman, Doug Martin, he will ask for any objections from the audience in reference to the board nominating report. During that time, we will open a polling feature in the live streaming platform should you want to object to the nominating report. Once you have submitted a response to the poll, however, you can't change or edit this. Thank you again for being here or for tuning in. We really do appreciate your support. The Utah Safety Council can only save lives and achieve our mission with the support of you and our members. I would like to give a special thanks to the Utah Labor Commission for their support and sponsorship of this annual meeting and awards presentation. Okay, at this time, I would like to invite our chairman of the board of directors, Doug Martin, to the podium to officially call this meeting to order and present the board business.
Thank you, John. Good morning to those in the room and those virtual. We welcome you to this 2021 annual meeting of the Utah Safety Council. On behalf of the board, I call this meeting to order. This past year has been an exciting year, a challenging year for not only your businesses and ours, but for the Utah Safety Council as it provides services to those throughout the industry. We want to thank those who have membership in this council for your support and noble efforts to prevent injuries and save lives. I would also like to just express appreciation to John and his team for making some pretty tough decisions during some difficult times to keep staff available and to keep our offerings available so that the important safety work could continue through, I think, an unprecedented time. We have a few items of business at this time. I'll start with the financial report. Total income for the Utah Safety Council during fiscal year ending June 2021 was $1,945,230, with the total expenses of $1,753,239. This left a net revenue of $191,991. Banking and investment accounts held by the Utah Safety Council totaled $1,027,674. Total assets held by the Utah Safety Council at the end of June 2020 were $1,852,814. The Utah Safety Council did apply for and receive funds from the Paycheck Protection Program, the PPP as it's affectionately known, again in this fiscal year amounting in $157,847. Those funds are held currently as a liability. We expect full forgiveness of this loan, which will be recognized on our financial statements at the end of fiscal year June 2022. The funds received from the first PPP were forgiven and recognized as income during this last fiscal year ending in June 2021. Individuals interested in obtaining copies of the fiscal year 2020 to 2021 financial statement and compilation report may do so by contacting the Utah Safety Council. The nominating committee report that John referenced earlier is presented here. Members of the Utah Safety Council, we propose the following candidates for officers and board members. For the position of chairman, the board nominates Doug Martin, Director of Treasury Services for the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, for a one-year term. For the position of immediate past chairman, the board nominates Chris Hill, Deputy Commissioner and General Counsel, Utah Labor Commission, for a one-year term. For the position of treasurer, the board nominates David J. Homer, Vice President, Chief Financial Officer of Wasatch Electric, for a one-year term. For board of director terms expiring in 2021, the following are nominated with three-year terms expiring in 2024. Chris Hill, Deputy Commissioner and General Counsel of the Utah Labor Commission. For new board of director with three-year terms expiring in 2024, Shauna Cragen, Director of Transportation for the Davis School District, and Jeremy Gee, Managing Director of Health and Safety at Pacific Corp. As per the bylaws governing the Utah Safety Council, these nominees were furnished to all members of the council for a vote at least 10 days in advance of this meeting. The vote was unanimous in favor of this nominating report. If there are no objections from the audience today, I move to accept the nominating report. The motion to accept the nominating report is approved and motion carries. It's my honor to introduce briefly the members of the Safety Council Board of Directors. Chris Hill, Deputy Commissioner and General Counsel for the Utah Labor Commission. Doug Martin, Director, Treasury Services, Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Gordon Murdoch, Manager of Environmental Health and Safety at Dominion Energy Questar Corp. Chase Parker is the Safety Risk Manager for Sandy City. Geraldine Lyons, General Manager, Metals, Rio Tinto, Kennecott, Utah Copper. Brad Sweet, Utah Region Manager, Granite Construction Company. Catherine Clark, Senior VP, Safety Health at WCF Insurance. Dave Homer is Vice President, Chief Financial Officer at Wasatch Electric. Brian Hogan is the Vice President, SH&E at Savage Services. Christy Rigby is Deputy Commissioner, Utah Department of Public Safety. Rob James is the Safety and Mission Assurance Director at Northrop Grumman Corp. Space Systems. Shauna Cragen, Director of Transportation at the Davis Schools District. And Jeremy Gee, Managing Director, Health and Safety at Pacific Corp. And I'm Doug Martin, the Director of Treasury at the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Thank you. I'd like to introduce now Brandee Crockett, who's our VP of Operations at the Utah Safety Council.
All right, good morning, everyone. It's nice to see smiling faces in the room with me and feel presence of everybody on virtually. So I'm happy to be here with all of you for another virtual annual meeting and awards presentation. Like Doug said, I'm the current Vice President of Operations, and like John said, I've been here for 19 years. So I'm especially, I feel lucky that I've been a part of the Utah Safety Council and supportive of our mission for so many years. And I'm also especially thankful for all the people and organizations that I've had the chance to work with over all these years as well. The annual meeting and awards presentation really is one of my favorite times of the year because I look forward to meeting everybody and bring people together to recognize our member companies and individuals who've made it their mission to work safely and return home every day. The Utah Safety Council, for some of you that don't know, has been dedicated to making Utah a safer place to live and work for over 80 years. The Utah Safety Council was founded in 1936 as a traffic safety council, and later in 1945, we expanded our reach beyond the roadways. In 1956, the Utah Safety Council became a chapter of the National Safety Council, and we continue that partnership still today. We are a membership-based nonprofit organization that's governed by a board of directors that were mentioned earlier. Our areas of expertise include occupational safety, traffic safety, emergency care safety, home and community safety, and a membership program, which I'm sure all of you, are a part of or been familiar with. We're happy to partner with your organizations and others across Utah and the surrounding states. Now I'm going to introduce our managers to tell you a little bit about the exciting things that have happened in each of their programs over the past year. First up is Cameron Clark, our Occupational Safety Program Manager.
Well, thank you. As Brandee mentioned, my name is Cameron Clark. I'm the Occupational Safety Training Program Manager. The story of our occupational safety program is like so many others during COVID. We were faced with the option to either adapt or to give up. This year was a year of first doing that. In our occupational program, I organized our first virtual on-site training and some of our first hybrid courses with attendees in the classroom, attendees at home, and even remote instructors. This year, we had 5 people complete their advanced safety certificate and many others start on their pursuit of the certificate. This year, even with COVID, we were able to offer over 40 occupational safety training on-site courses and 120 in-house, virtual, or hybrid courses. We also had over 110 people attend OSHA 10 and 30-hour courses. I personally am committed to continuing offering a diverse range of curriculum to Utah businesses this year and to continually adapt and to grow this program. I will continue to make a personal investment in everyone's safety knowledge and to strive with the rest of the council to help everyone get home safely at the end of each day. Next, we'll hear from Megan Spackman.
Hi, my name's Megan. I am the manager of the Mine and Refinery Training Program. Over the past year, we continue to see good numbers in both our mine safety and refinery classes, with over 800 in the instructor-led refinery courses and about 2,200 in the MSHA program. We have continued web-based classes for our mining students over the past year and have students all over the world attending these classes. With the increased reach of this program, we have also been audited by MSHA representatives in Utah, Colorado, California, Idaho, and Pennsylvania. We've received approval on all audits, and because of this exposure, we enjoy recognition of our training plan across the US. We've continued to uphold high standards for our training and have received reports that our MSHA certificates are accepted everywhere in the United States. Because of this, we're able to partner with several international companies to offer training to all of their employees, streamlining their processes concerning MSHA training requirements and eliminating their need to have employees complete regional MSHA training. We have also been granted permanent approval of our web-based classes and will continue offering this format even as we begin to offer in-person MSHA classes again. We did say goodbye to our instructor, Steve McLaughlin, if you're familiar with him, this year, as he retired full-time, but we were also able to welcome Dale Johansson onto the team. Our refinery program continues to thrive also, even through the difficulties of the past year. At times, the demand for these classes were so great that we were challenged to meet the need with the required limited class sizes. But the entire office pulled together to accommodate the needs of our students. To avoid this issue in the future, we are also training Dale Johansson to be a second refinery safety instructor. We're excited for what he will bring to this program and the experience he'll share with our students. Thank you for your continued support, as it's allowed us to continue growing and improving this program. And next, we'll hear from Nichole Rilk, our Traffic Safety Program Manager. Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. My name is Nichole Rilk, and I'm the Traffic Safety Manager. I'm proud to lead the Traffic Safety Program because it's my mission to help make our roadways safer and ensure that every one of us return home to our loved ones each night. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration, Americans drove less in 2020 due to the pandemic. NHTSA's early estimates show that 38,680 people died in motor vehicle-related crashes. This represents an increase of about 7.2% as compared to the 36,096 fatalities reported in 2019. I believe these accidents are preventable. With our efforts to continue to educate our communities and the public on how to drive defensively, I think we can bring these numbers down. 2020 was a challenging year, and it was challenging to find classroom space, and also we had to limit the number of bodies in a classroom at a time. However, we were able to teach our courses via Zoom and continue to reach the public and continue to educate them about our 6 deadly driving choices. Many students that take our course are taking it due to a slowdown and move over violation, or need to take the course to get points removed from their driving record to avoid getting their license suspended. We also have several people attending the course for a work requirement. Unfortunately, the deadly effects of speeding and distracted driving have also become such a massive factor in deaths on our Utah roadways. I'm delighted to announce that we were able to teach over 5,000 people this year, and we're able to continue to spread our message about how motorists can drive better. We continue to conduct live in-person classes in Logan, Salt Lake City, Heber, Richfield, Vernal, and St. George. We should be able to offer courses in Orem and Ogden in the fall. We are also looking for more opportunities to make our roadways safer and help educate our communities and organizations on defensive driving. Please let us know if there's anything that we can do to give your organization a lift in the traffic safety area. Next, we will hear from Kenzee Logue.
Hello, and I'm Kenzee Logue. I'm the Emergency Care Program Manager here at the Utah Safety Council. And although a lot of my job is required at a desk, I still continue to sneak away and complete car seat checks and events, fairs, and even teach some classes. I enjoy being involved with safety, but overall safety in my community. Over the past year, we have trained over 300 people in basic life-saving care, 80 new first aid CPR AED instructors, and have placed 15 new automated external defibrillators in the workplace. In the past year with COVID-19, we've helped companies understand the importance of being prepared with new technology and AED units for better tracking of expiration of pads and batteries to ensure that they are live and ready to go when employees are at work. Over the coming year, I plan to focus on AED awareness. 80% of sudden cardiac arrest happens outside of the hospital, and 20% of that happens in the workplace. I plan on working with our members to significantly increase the number of AEDs that will be available for them to use if needed while working. I plan to support that goal by providing as much AED awareness and training as possible. I appreciate the opportunity to work with so many companies and people at the Utah Safety Council that want to make a difference and save lives. Up next, we'll hear from Cassie Henson.
Thank you, Kenzee. Hi, I'm Cassie, and I manage our computer-based safety training. As a seasoned employee of the Utah Safety Council for 15 years now, I have enjoyed watching our organization grow and to see all that we have accomplished. I've had the opportunity to work in a few different programs over the years. I am currently managing our computer lab, and I would have to say our lab has continued to grow even during the pandemic. This year in our computer lab, we trained over 1,400 students in refinery safety training for both local refineries and other refineries all around the US. My responsibility in our lab is to manage and coordinate with companies and help provide the proper training they need to enter a job site. We currently work with other safety councils and chapters who have helped make it possible to provide the training we stream in our computer lab. This year, as everything is getting back to normal from the pandemic, my goal is to continue to provide exceptional customer service to our members and customers. We are excited to share another year with all of you. Thank you for supporting our organization. Next, we will hear from Aimee Figueroa.
Hello, everybody. Morning. My name is Aimee. I'm the office assistant here at the Utah Safety Council, and I will be representing home and community for today's meeting as well. In the last year, the Utah Safety Council has given out over 100 car seats. With every car seat installation, parents are being taught the proper procedures of traveling safety with their little ones. Our two on-site techs, Kenzee, Logue, and Nichole, Rilk, have hosted and attended over 15 car seat checkpoints this past year to ensure we reach as many families across the state. Not only are these ladies doing their best to keep the kiddos safe, but they have I'm so sorry. Apart from car seat checks, the Utah Safety Council has given out over 1,500 Take Safety Home flyers with information that will educate families to be safe in their communities. We're also offering community classes in CPR and AED to teach families how to react in a state of emergency. Our goal at the council is to help educate members about the importance of safety. So with doing so, we are in the process of incorporating more Spanish health courses, not just in first aid, but in occupational and traffic as well. So con eso, estén más alertos para más información sobre nuestras clases en el futuro, y de parte de todos nosotros del Utah Safety Council, gracias por mantener la seguridad. In translation, be on the lookout for more information about the Spanish courses, and from all of us at the Utah Safety Council, thank you for staying safe. And next we'll hear from Lora Brown, our accountant.
Hi, my name is Lora Brown, and I have been with the accounting manager for the Utah Safety Council for just over 6 years. Earlier, you heard the financial status and reporting for the last fiscal year, beginning in July 2020 and ending June 2021. I would like to report that $99,407 in grant funding was received from several grantors during this time period. These grant funds were allocated between the following areas and programs: administrative, grants for COVID-related funding, traffic, home and community, women in safety, the annual safety awards meeting, the meeting you are now attending, occupational program scholarships, the media library, and our annual conference, which we will be holding again in the spring of 2022. The grantors, listed in no particular order, are the Utah Department of Public Safety Highway Safety Office, Safe in Utah program, the Utah Labor Commission, the State of Utah, and the Utah Network of Employers for Traffic Safety. We appreciate all of those who are willing to grant the Utah Safety Council funds and continue to support safety within our communities and across all aspects of our lives. Next, we will hear from Lisa Christofferson.
Hi, good morning. My name is Lisa Christofferson, and I am the membership manager. I love living in Utah, and one of the reasons why is because we have some of the most interesting and successful businesses, and they have such a global impact. Our state motto is just industry, and that inspires me, and it makes me want to contribute to that and contribute to our industry by doing the very best thing that I can do, which is to help provide Utah's industry community a network of resources to help save lives and keep people safe. We've had over 41 organizations join Utah Safety Council over the past fiscal year, which brought us to 964 members. Although we had slow membership growth during COVID times, we are starting to see these numbers rise, and we are very excited to celebrate when we reach over 1,000 members as projected for this next year. Over the past year, we had to find new ways to engage with our members. We called this an opportunity, and we're able to upskill in new ways. I'm so proud of our team, and I'm pleased with how most of the Utah Safety Conference and Expo went in March. We had over 240 total registrations, which was comparable with our numbers from previous years. The previous year's in-person event, and our overall goals were exceeded. There were even some highlights. We were able to engage with members that have been unable to attend in-person events due to distance or other reasons. We had the opportunity to hear from speakers we might not have been able to hear from. I enjoyed hearing from Lorraine Martin, President and CEO of the National Safety Council, and Colonel Janice M. Carroll, the 75th Air Base Wing Commander at Hill Air Force Base. and also getting some great feedback from not just the attendees, but the exhibitors and the presenters. However, the most important thing was that we were able to have crucial conversations about safety, thereby specifically working toward our mission to save lives by promoting safety and health through education, services, and products. We look forward to taking what we learned from our virtual Utah Safety Conference and Expo and making next year's event the best one yet. As a team, we began implementing our Start with Safety webinar. Over this past year, we began each month with a free, open to anyone safety webinar where we had a guest subject matter expert talk about a relevant topic, and then we shared program updates and upcoming ways to take advantage of Utah Safety Council membership. Safety professionals from over 100 organizations attended 12 monthly webinars. We look forward to the possibility of making Start with Safety into a hybrid event, potentially being hosted in different locations to allow for the in-person experience when it's safe to do so. Please make sure that you join us on the first business day of each month at 10 a.m. for Start with Safety. So one of my favorite things about the Utah Safety Council, it's not a secret, is the Women in Safety program. The mission of this group is to recognize, motivate, and support women in the workplace who have chosen or been assigned safety-related responsibilities. Members of the organization are committed to encourage, elevate, and give back to women. The group was formed to share advantages of association by means of open meetings, conferences, educational events, correspondence, resources, and publications to instill and progress the quality of safety programs and personal improvement. The Women in Safety organization hosts 6 events each year, including an award event. Over this past year, we were able to figure out some creative ways to engage with this group and enjoyed hosting 3 nationally known fantastic speakers. We have a lot of exciting things coming up, and we look forward to when we're able to meet in person again. As the membership manager at the Utah Safety Council, I would like to say on behalf of all of us that we appreciate your membership and your participation. That's why we are here. We wouldn't be doing this without it and without you. So we thank you for your membership and your continued commitment to stay engaged and to be an advocate for safety. This concludes the updates from our board members and the Utah Safety Council staff. At this time, we would like to move to the next portion of our meeting. If I didn't say before, I want to say it now. I'm so happy to be here, and I'm very excited because I get to cross something off my bucket list. I get to say that I gave a speech at the Utah State Capitol, right? And even better than that, I get the honor of introducing our guest speaker today. So after beginning her career in law enforcement in 1993, Rosie Rivera was sworn in as sheriff of Salt Lake County on August 15th, 2017, becoming the first female sheriff elected in the state of Utah. During her decades-long career, Rivera ascended from officer to detective, sergeant, lieutenant, deputy chief, and ultimately sheriff. She has served in many capacities during her tenure, including patrol, community policing, gang detective, investigations, narcotics, administration, and as department spokeswoman. In her current role, Rivera oversees the largest jail and largest court security bureau in Utah and serves as CEO of the Unified Police Department of Greater Salt Lake. We are honored that she has chosen to spend time with us today, and we appreciate her commitment to safety in our community. We appreciate that she has been gracious enough to speak with us, and she's even agreed to answer a few questions at the end. So if you'd like to submit a question for consideration, please do so by using the Q&A feature within the platform for this meeting. If you're in the room, you can go ahead and submit that to one of us up front. But please join me in welcoming the Sheriff of Salt Lake County and CEO of the Unified Police Department of Greater Salt Lake, Rosie Rivera.
Good morning, everybody. It's actually a better morning today because the air is a little bit better. I was able to see a little glimpse of the mountains this morning, so I knew today would be better than last week. So thank you for having me here. The Utah Safety Council has been a friend and partner of law enforcement for my entire career. There are many programs that we have partnered with, and I can tell you the partnership is so important. What you do really enhances what we do. So I want to thank you. I'm really honored to be here today. And, you know, I was asked to talk a little bit about myself first. That's a challenge for me sometimes. Because you don't really want to sit in front of a group of people and just talk about yourself. But I think that sometimes my story is important to individuals who may want to join law enforcement and make it a career. So I started out wanting to be a police officer at the age of 7 years old. My father used to make me watch Perry Mason. For some of you, you may not even know who that is, but for some of us, you know, we do. I kind of aged myself there, but he wanted me to be an attorney. And I kept looking at the detective in the show. And at 7 years old, I used to say, I want to be a police officer. Well, as my childhood went on, at the age of 14, I got pregnant. I became a teenager at 15, and I actually married my teenage boyfriend at the time, became my husband. I was 14 years old and he was 16 years old. They didn't let you get married in the state of Utah, so we had to go to Idaho. Now, with the Latino community, that's something that you do. You get married and you take care of your family. So that's how my life began. As a young teen, I learned early on that dedication, persistence would get me to wherever I want to go. It would get me to the goals that I wanted to complete. And it was a challenge. You know, I had to be on public assistance. I wasn't old enough to get a job. The second I tried. My first try at it was trying to sell Avon. Try being 14 years old and going door to door and people closing the door on you, right? They're thinking, what is this young child doing at my door trying to sell Avon? So as I went on, I realized that I needed to work harder. And my father was a good role model in that sense that he always told me, if you want something, go after it. You never, ever give up. So the only way we could make money back then was through public assistance and also working in the onion fields. I can tell you that is one of the hardest jobs for our migrant workers. Kudos to you, because I personally can say how tough that job is, and you don't make a lot of money. But sometimes when I reflect back, those were some of the best years of my life. You know, trying to earn a good wage and splitting it amongst all the migrant workers, and you walk home and you know, just look at, well, we put food on the table, and that's what's important. But by experience all of that, it taught me to understand that as a police officer, I may not be in your shoes, but I've been in my own shoes in challenging times. So I, as a leader, ask my employees, who are police officers and civilians, that we treat everybody with kindness and respect, regardless of where you come from. And that's what I expect. And so far, we have been able to ensure that that is occurring. Now, I want to talk a little bit about, many people don't understand the difference of the Salt Lake County Sheriff and the rest of the sheriffs in the state of Utah. The Salt Lake County Sheriff's duties are overseeing the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office, but it's also being the CEO over Unified Police Department. These are two separate entities, two separate businesses. If you looked at it as a business sense, different people run the organization. different budgets, entirely different jobs. So starting with the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office, I oversee the largest jail in the state of Utah. And it's a challenge sometimes, you know, overseeing that population. We also, I oversee the court security, what we call is our Public Safety Bureau. There are other units under that court security piece, but that is for the largest courthouse in the state of Utah as well. With the Unified Police Department, when I first became a sheriff's deputy in 1994, the sheriff's office had their own law enforcement piece for the sheriff's office in the Salt Lake County. But in 2010, that was split. So the law enforcement piece of Salt Lake County, and when I say law enforcement piece, that is your patrol, your detectives, that kind of, you know, roles, was separated and created into the Unified Police Department with a goal and a thought of, okay, metro policing is probably the way to go to save money. And that's what the concept was when Unified Police Department became Unified Police Department, is let's share some services. So that's what is occurring now. So Unified takes care of all the law enforcement for whatever entities are part of Unified Police Department. Right now we have 11 entities, and that's Midvale, Mill Creek, Holiday, Kearns, Magna, all our townships. And so we provide those law enforcement services, and they all share the cost. With the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office, it's corrections and court security. And that is the difference. Other than they're two separate organizations, and there are only two people who are do the same roles for both. And that is myself and Under Sheriff Jake Peterson. So we are the only two that are part of both organizations. Now, with the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office, you know, the sheriff isn't elected, so I'm equal to the county council and Mayor Wilson. Under the Unified Police Department, I'm the CEO, and I get my direction from a governing board of all the mayors from those entities that we serve. So it's quite a complicated structure for Salt Lake County, but it works. It's a big challenge to have those two roles. And many times, you know, you're working on trying not to have these conflicts. But what I see the benefit of is you become a larger organization under Office of the Sheriff for Salt Lake County. And our communities do benefit more because the costs are shared. And that it's a great concept. Across the country, you won't see any agencies like Unified Police Department in that structure. There are some similar, and there are many states looking at the structure of UPD and how it is operated. I can tell you that some of the challenges, though, are, do you want the Salt Lake County Sheriff running your police agency? Or do you want to be your own local control? That is come up multiple times, and many of the entities that were part of Unified Police Department have chosen to leave the Unified Police Department simply because they want that local control. They want to make those decisions. We have had also entities that have joined Unified Police Department in order to cut costs, and they don't need that local control. So there are quite a few challenges in that area, but I really think it's the right direction to go. And you will see across the country, it's other states looking at the programs and taking that on simply because the cost of policing has gone up. And when I say that, the concept of defunding the police made policing more expensive. Our biggest challenge right now is trying to find young people to take this profession on. It is not an easy profession. especially at this time with all the challenges that we have had in the last couple of years. It's been rough. We're trying to recruit, and law enforcement in general is basically taking employees from each other. There's this wage war going on, and it all stems from, for the last couple of years, law enforcement hasn't felt appreciated like we should be. If your communities aren't safe, things can't work. We have to have communities safe. But at the same time, law enforcement needs to acknowledge that maybe we weren't operating the way that was best for our communities. Maybe we need to make changes. And for the most part, every sheriff that I have met in the state of Utah, and every chief that I know, is willing to make the changes to make our communities better. But what we're asking is, don't defund us. Help us encourage young people to make this a profession, because it is a very honorable profession. It is challenging. And, as a female leader in law enforcement, it's extremely challenging. And I try to be the best role model that I can. However, at the same time, women need to stand up and say, you know what, this is a profession that we can do as well. Being at the table is important. Having that diversity is important at the table. When we're making decisions, we make critical decisions on your safety, on your children's safety. And we have to have a diverse group of people at the table having those conversations. That is so important. With the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office, one of our goals, when I became sheriff, was let's see, can we make it more diverse? Because that has been a challenge in law enforcement, not just in this state, but all across the country. Right now, we're about 26% with diversity. That's women, people of color, unified police departments around 20%, but we're working on it. And the reason that is important is our communities are changing. Many of you may have seen the census just came out. Our communities are changing, and we need to look like our communities and make those decisions based off our community's needs. And so that's why diversity is extremely important. When you think about diversity in our jail, we book approximately 36,000 bookings a year. That's a lot. It's a very diverse group of people, very challenging group of people. And if you don't have people who understand where those individuals have come from, it makes it a challenge to be able to control that population in our jail. Because of COVID, it has brought on a lot of challenges for law enforcement and our communities. Keeping our employees safe, but also keeping our prisoners safe has become a challenge. One of the things that we did early on is made sure that we were paying attention to the information being provided to us. We have been able to keep our COVID numbers in our jail very low. Currently, we don't have any COVID cases in our jail, but our employees were impacted by COVID as well. And those numbers were quite high when COVID first started. We have learned what we need to do. And that is a challenge when you put somebody in that type of environment, knowing that the potential for them to contract any disease from the population that comes through that facility becomes a concern. And for us, the safety of our employees and the safety of our community and the community in our facility has become our biggest priority. And we work really hard on that. We can't do it without our partners, though. There's a lot of different partners. The Salt Lake County Health Department has become one of our largest partners during COVID. We have been able to give the prisoners the opportunity to be vaccinated, which, you know, in the beginning, we could never see something like that happening because it's so hard to manage, but Salt Lake County Health Department has helped us do that. That's important because those individuals will go back out to the streets and they will be safer. With our jail, the average stay is about 27 days. So as you can see, the people coming in and going out and coming in is quite extensive when you think about it. There are many programs that we have put in place to ensure that we keep our numbers low in our jail. But currently right now, because of COVID, and we cut our numbers down in order to quarantine prisoners, it's become a challenge where you have to let the lower offenders out in order to have enough space for quarantine. So what that created for us was our jail has the majority are felons. And when you have that kind of population, it becomes very violent and it's very tough to manage. So kudos to our corrections staff who are able to manage that type of group. It's a you know, a great thing that they are able to do that and keep everybody safe and keep our community safe. There are people who are in our jail that probably don't need to be there, but there are people who definitely need to be there. And it's my role to ensure our communities are safe and they stay there. We partner with the courts, of course, and the district attorney's office and our state legislators to ensure that. But at the same time, it's my role to say, you know, people with mental health issues, people with drug addiction jail may not be the best place. So we've been working for the last 4 years on alternatives to incarceration. We're working on trying to get more programs within the corrections facilities to help people with life skills and send them back out where they can be successful. That's very, very important. So I ask that you pay attention to what's going on around law enforcement. Other challenges that we're dealing with now are, you know, we have officers who work patrol. We're dealing with the impact of what COVID has done to our communities. It's very clear it's created some mental health issues. It's our domestic violence is up. We have some violent crime that has gone up, and they're really, we can't say the correlation yet, but law enforcement is seeing an increase in areas, but they still go out there, they still go day to day, and they still serve the community. So if you see them out there, understand that their life has gotten really tough in the last couple of years, not just because of the pandemic, but also because of all the issues going on regarding policing. We're open to making our police officers better. We're open to making our profession better, but we need our community's help to tell us what we need to change and be a voice for us as well. So I thank you for, you know, having me here today, and I'll open it up to some questions if that's okay with you. Sure. Okay.
Over here, if that's okay.
Okay.
Okay. So I saw you earlier this morning on a bus.
Oh,
right?
yes.
So, and I don't know if I'm on or off here, but I saw you this morning on a bus, right? So, obviously we're hiring, and you're talking about like hiring and all the efforts that we need. What we talked about kind of some of the challenges, but what are some of the good parts of becoming an officer, and what is it that you like about what you do? What's your favorite part of your job?
Well, my favorite part about being the sheriff is I get to engage with a lot more people, and I get to tell the story of law enforcement. The good parts of law enforcement are the fact that we truly get to help people on a daily basis. You can go to a call. You may be able to save a life. You may be able to send somebody in the right direction. You may be able to prevent a much violent crime. Those are the things that we go home every day and feel like we actually accomplish something, because you truly do get to help people. When I got hired on, that was one of the questions. Why do you want to be a police officer? And you always say, because I want to help people. Well, that really is true. And you do get to do that. So.
Okay. What is it that you like best about living in Utah?
Living in Utah, I like best the diversity. We do have diversity. And I know people will say, well, it's not quite as diverse, but it is. We have wonderful people here. Our communities are great. And that to me is the air I don't like. I don't think any of us like it, right? But it's up to us to do something to change that. But what I can tell you, when the tough times hit the fan, I won't use, what I normally would say, but when that hits the fan, we all come together. We all support each other. And one thing that I have seen recently, there is that separation. Like I talked about what COVID we're seeing on the streets of COVID is bringing people apart. We really need to bring that back in and understand we're all human beings and we're here to help each other. So, yeah.
And maybe one more. Did we get any more?
Anybody from the audience?
Yes.
I'll take it. So to me, I don't really say this, but I keep my stuff in my chest. But when I was 8 years old, I was removed from a abusive family. So I had 15 cops, police officers come and remove all me and my brothers and sisters. And we all went to foster homes and group homes. But if it wasn't for the police officers, I would still be in that abusive family. But obviously here I am a grown man. And I truly appreciate what police officers do because it's personally to my heart. So thank you so much.
Thank you. And, there are many more just like you, that the impact isn't just early age. Impacts of abusive homes last a lifetime. So officers can be a positive role in that. We encourage that all the time. And that happens quite often. Unfortunately, that is one of the roles that law enforcement have to play is assisting children out of the homes. And it's not easy.
9 years old, I'm a police officer, I'm a safety director, so I want to say truly thank you.
Well, thank you. And I want to say thank you to all of you. My sister works for Geneva Rock for 25 years and she's drove heavy equipment. She could probably outdo anybody driving, or I think it's operating a bulldozer, not driving. She will correct me, but it's organizations like this that ensure the employees are safe. So I just wanted to throw a plug out there. So yeah, for you guys.
Okay, well, thank you. I think we want to
Thank
just
you.
one more, just the final.
Okay.
What can we do as a community, as people in business and people in Utah to help support the efforts of you and your team?
I think what you can all do is to continue to support law enforcement. You have to understand when we take that oath to defend and support the Constitution of the United States and to defend and support the Constitution of the state of Utah, we take that to heart. That is the oath that we take. And sometimes we're put in some really tough situations because of that. But just know that we got into this profession for a reason. A reason was to make our communities better. And the only way that we can continue to do that is if we have people like you telling each other that law enforcement is a good profession. But if we can't hire, it's going to be rough for all of our communities. So right now she talked about, me being on the buses doing some advertising for law enforcement. And we had to go to buses. I mean, who ever knew? When I started as a law enforcement officer, there were 900 candidates I had to compete with. Right now, we don't even have 100 that put in. And by the time they pass backgrounds, you might get 3. So please let people know this profession is honorable. It's a great profession. And if any of you are interested, I'd be happy to take your application today. So thank you. Thanks.
Thank you for clapping. We're going to ask that you keep clapping as we give awards out because it's so quiet in here. And so just keep clapping. It's okay. It's going to be okay. I promise. Before I let the sheriff go, we have something for you. So big surprise. We hope you like it. We're to the awards part of the program. So we have 118 awards to present in 11 categories. And to kick it off, I'm going to invite Brandee back up to the podium. So Brandee Crockett, let's give her a hand.
Okay, let's see. Well, I just want to introduce our first award of the afternoon or morning, afternoon, whatever time it is right now. Our first award is the Achievement and Safety by an Organization. The Achievement and Safety by an Organization Award recognizes contributions to the mission of the Utah Safety Council and excellence in promoting safety in the workplace. This year, we are excited to honor 2 recipients. The first organization we would like to recognize is the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office. Sure. The Salt Lake County, I'll tell you a little bit about their accomplishments. And in addition to what the sheriff has already shared with us today, the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office operates 2 correctional facilities, the Salt Lake County Metro Jail and the Oxbow Jail Facility. Both jails are highly efficient, designed to operate at low cost with an abundance of programs that minimize overcrowding issues while creating an approach that reduces recidivism. Salt Lake County's Public Safety Bureau prides itself on meeting the diverse challenges of effective crime prevention by transitioning between law enforcement authority, prisoner management, government security, and public service. In addition to the Corrections Bureau and Public Safety Bureau, the Sheriff's Office is also home to Search and Rescue, the Mounted Posse, Human Resources, and Fiscal Divisions. With over 1,100 employees and volunteers, the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office takes pride in its role as a leader in public safety and community service. So I am pleased to present the Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office with the Achievement and Safety by an Organization Award. So thank you. Yeah. Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
We also want to recognize another company who has made significant impact on the health and safety landscape in Utah, especially over the last year. So I'm going to ask John Wojciechowski to come back up and present our next Achievement and Safety by an Organization Award.
Oh, you don't have to clap. It's okay. Okay, our next recipient is Intermountain Healthcare. Just a reminder, this award recognizes contributions to the mission of saving lives and promoting safety in the workplace and in the community. I dare say no organization saved more lives in 2020 than Intermountain Healthcare. As the COVID-19 pandemic was at its worst, Intermountain displayed courage on the front lines to save the lives of their COVID patients and to keep their employees safe. Led by their CEO, Mark Harrison, Intermountain pivoted and made major changes to their operations to cope with the demands of the pandemic. Technology advances like telehealth, allowing the non-COVID patients to arrange medical appointments through Intermountain's new digital app. They helped eliminate racial disparities in care exposed by the pandemic through aggressive outreach in those communities and hiring a more diverse staff for representation. With innovation, 10,000 of Intermountain's 41,000 employees were able to begin working from home. By establishing partnerships with key organizations, Intermountain was able to manage Utah's supply chain for personal protective equipment to help keep the community safe during the COVID-19 pandemic. Intermountain is the state leader in COVID-19 testing, treatment, and vaccine distribution and administration. Even to this day, Intermountain continues to fight the war against COVID-19. Their doctors, nurses, and staff are tired from working all the extra hours. The ICU again is running out of beds. The ICU is like a war zone. But Intermountain continues to fight the good fight with the purpose of keeping Utah safe and healthy. All they ask of us is to be the community they need us to be so that they can take care of everybody. It is my pleasure to present Intermountain Healthcare with the Achievement and Safety by an Organization Award. It says invite them up, but they are here, so let's give them a hand. Get out of the way. Cassie's going to take your picture. You guys want to say anything? All right, Fred, get up there.
No, on behalf of almost 50,000 completely awesome caregivers at Intermountain Healthcare who make safety happen for us and our patients, we're just grateful to accept this and appreciate the recognition from the Safety Council and the board. So thank you.
All right, next up is Nichole Rilk. She'll be presenting our Occupational Seat Belt Award. So let's give a hand to Nichole.
Thank you, John. The Utah Safety Council and the Network of Employers for Traffic Safety and the Utah Department of Public Safety and the Highway Safety Office encourage companies to adopt and promote traffic safety programs for their employees. Together, we are recognizing companies for achieving a 100% safety belt use rate during their 30-day observation period. These surveys are conducted to determine the actual usage rate of employees wearing seatbelts. Companies are required to implement specific educational programs to encourage employees to buckle up. This year, there are 4 awards. Each of the following organizations achieved a 100% seatbelt usage rate. The first one is Hudson Printing, Intermountain Healthcare Career Services of St. George, Intermountain Healthcare Career Services of Salt Lake City, and North American Industrial Services. Congratulations to Salt Lake City Department of Airports, who received the most improved. They went from 67% to 79%. Good job, Salt Lake City Department of Airports. Up next is Lisa Christofferson with our Membership Recognition Awards.
Okay. The members of the Utah Safety Council are the foundation of our success. We are a member-based organization, and we try to make decisions and run our operation based on the objectives of our member organizations. There are 3 levels of membership, and each year we recognize new members in our top 2 categories, contributing and sustaining. We honor and recognize these members for their generosity in supporting our mission. This recognition serves as tribute to their commitment to provide a safe and healthy working environment for all employees and stakeholders within their organization. This helps us all to help keep Utah a safer place to live and work. The new contributing members we would like to recognize this year are Roto Air Filter Sales and Service. They joined in October of 2020. High West Distillery. They joined in February of 2021. Newman Construction, joining March of 2021. And Rocky Mountain Specialty Contracting, contracting, joining April of 2021. The new sustaining members that we would like to recognize this year are Spectrum Solutions. They joined in October of 2020. Best Friends Animal Society joined January of 2021. Roseman University of Health Sciences joined May of 2021. And Thermo Fisher Scientific joining June of 2021. Thank you to these organizations. We look forward to getting to know you and engaging with you in the future. We appreciate your membership. Next, we will hear from Cameron Clark, who will present our Million Hour and Perfect Record Awards.
Now we will present the Million Hours Award. The Million Hours Award recognizes companies who reach 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, or any other million increment of consecutive employee hours during the 2020 calendar year without incurring an OSHA recordable injury or illness and days away from work or death. Those receiving the award this year are as follows. North American Industrial Services with 1,149,884 total employee hours worked without incident. And Parker Commercial Flight Controls Division in Ogden with more than 2 million total employee hours worked without incident. Congratulations, Million Hours Award winners. Our next award is the Perfect Record Award that recognizes companies who worked an entire 2020 calendar year without an OSHA recordable injury or illness and days away from work. Those receiving this award this year are as follows. American Environmental and Engineering Consultants, AEEC. American Water. Barclay Mechanical. Bar Engineering, Salt Lake City office. Brock Services. Cameron Construction. Comfort Systems USA, Intermountain. NIX USA. EnviroServe, Salt Lake. Epcon Partners Incorporated. Fresh Market, Layton. Harder Mechanical Services. JT4 LLC. Caltech LLC. Kern River Gas Transmission. Lynn's Price. Macy's Lehigh. Mill Creek Engineering Company. Mountain Regional Equipment Solutions. North American Industrial Services. Parker Commercial Flight Controls Division in Ogden. Pro Build Construction Incorporated. Provo Civic Power. Richard Manufacturing Company. Rio Tinto Kennecott Copper, Tailings and Water Services. Savage Services Bingham and Garfield. Savage Services Coal Service. Savage Services Savage Energy Terminal. Savage Services Service Support Center. Savage Services Star Point. Savage Services Sunnyside. Syntex Technologies. Trulight Glass and Aluminum Solutions, aluminum. Trulight Glass and Aluminum Solutions, glass. Western Metals Recycling in Provo. Congratulations to our Perfect Record Award winners. Next up, we'll hear from Cassie, Henson, and Nichole Rilk, who will present our Professional Driver of the Year Award.
Thank you, Cameron. This is the 36th year that the Utah Safety Council is recognizing individuals for dedication to service and the example that is set for all professional drivers. There are several great applications this year. We have chosen to recognize a driver in the long haul transportation category.
This year, we are pleased to present the Professional Driver of the Year Award to Steve Whiting with CR England. Steve has over 40 years of experience in his driving career. Over his 40 years, he has driven 5.3 million safe miles. At age 17, he drove a garbage truck, then started driving tractor trailer when he turned 21 in 1980. In May of 1989, he hired on with CR England. He has driven both as an independent contractor and company driver for CR England. Steve has proven himself to be an industry leader and valuable driver for CR England. He takes ownership not only for his job, but assisting his peer drivers to utilize their strengths as an asset to fulfill their responsibilities in serving their customers. Because of Steve's outstanding performance, he was recognized by the Utah Trucking Association. In fact, it was the Utah Trucking Association that submitted the nomination for the Utah Safety Council to consider Steve for this prestigious Driver of the Year award. CR England's Director of Equipment and Permits, Gary Van Elkenberg, says, Steve is his go-to source for rock-solid information and helps him understand the challenges that confront our drivers every day. His driver manager of many years, Clark Miller, says Steve is more than just a driver. He's a friend, a trainer, a communicator, a coordinator, and the best driver he's ever had the pleasure working with. CR England's customers rely on Steve's communication as well, and will often call Steve directly before they even contact customer service. In his personal life, he enjoys getting out on the road. It all started at age 10 when he bought his first motorcycle, a Honda 50, where he was able to enjoy dirt roads and delivering newspapers. His passion for Harleys is not only a means of personal enjoyment, connecting him with family and friends, but also in supporting his charitable needs and interests with the community. Steve has participated in motorcycle rides supporting Utah's fallen officers and many more. Steve currently resides in Stansbury Park with his wife, Kim, whom he married in 2012. Between them, they have 6 children, all boys, and 7 grandchildren. We would like to welcome Steve up to the podium to accept his award. Next, we will hear from Lisa Christofferson with our Wish Award.
I've gotten to see everybody's pictures, but it's fun to see them in person. Okay. The next award we'd like to present is the Women in Safety and Health Award, or WISH Award. As previously mentioned, this organization was designed by the Utah Safety Council as a group for professional women within safety and health industries. Each year, this group presents the WISH Award. The award is presented at the end of year Women and Safety event, and the recipient is also honored during the Utah Safety Council's annual meeting and awards event. So now we would like to do that. We had 12 deserving nominations, and each of those candidates were very well qualified. I am pleased to share with you all that Hanh from OC Tanner is our 2020 WISH Award winner. According to her team, Hanh is the platinum standard when it comes to safety and health. She is fiercely dedicated to the safety of OC Tanner's people. She started on the production line 25 years ago and has worked her way up to a crucial management role in safety. Because of her creative, fun approach, which comes from a place of deep caring for people, she has taken the culture of safety to a new level. No one does it better than Hanh, and here are the reasons why. Directly due to Han's efforts, OC Tanner has been recognized 7 times by the Utah Safety Council with an award of merit. Hanh created the Safety Catch reporting incentive program. She created and implemented a COVID-19 sanitation and screening policy. 0 cases were transmitted on site. She conducts and creates fun, engaging, and creative safety meetings and initiatives. Due to her efforts, EMOD scores have improved and workers' comp claims and costs have decreased. Hanh was responsible for getting rectangular rapid flash beacons at both crosswalks on Main Street in Salt Lake City. This creates a safer environment for people walking near the OC Tanner location and helps condition frequent Main Street drivers to anticipate somebody in the crosswalk. As well as safety in the community, Hanh is also concerned about people's safety away from work. So she created a fun campaign to encourage seatbelt use. She asked employees to create a meme, and she received over 200 submissions from around the world. I would like to congratulate our 2020 Wish Award winner, Hanh No, and invite her to come up and receive, since she received her actual award last December, she's going to get her OC Tanner Award of Merit today. So welcome.
The Utah Safety Council is recognizing several individuals who played a role in saving lives. The Harold R. Everitt Lifesaver Award honors a man who was a pivotal part of the Utah Safety Council's emergency care program since he began teaching in 2002. Harold had a long history of working in the emergency medical services field, dating back to the 1970s as a first responder. In many years, Harold worked as an EMT. He participated in many events and gave back to his beloved community. Anyone who knew Harold knew that he would do almost anything for you. It was his giving spirit and infectious laugh that made it so enjoyable spending time with him. Many of those in attendance today may have even taken a training course from Harold. The first award we'd like to award to is Ashkeya Hokanson, Public Relationship Manager at HHI Corporation. Because of HHI Corporation's commitment to safety, they offer training to their employees, and Ashkeya took advantage of this opportunity. In May of 2021, she was at an event in her community when suddenly the girl next to her had collapsed. When assessing the situation, she noticed the girl was breathing and unresponsive. As she learned in her basic first aid training she received just 2 months prior, she knew to put the girl in the recovery position. She directed her peers to different locations to ensure that EMS response time was quick. Because of her quick response, this girl made a full recovery. We'd like to present Ashkeya with this award and invite her up.
The other recipients of the Harold R. Everitt Lifesaver Award are two brave men that I would like to honor for their quick and outstanding instincts to jump into superhero mode and save a little girl in a car accident in Lehigh in March of 2021. Ben Goddard and Zach Richmond are members of UDOT's incident management team. Ben and Zach were individually patrolling on I-15 southbound in Lehigh just before rush hour on March 4th of 2021. A vehicle lost control and hit the left barrier, then spun across multiple freeway lanes and hit the right barrier, went through the off-ramp gore area, and then crashed into the right wall of the off-ramp. After initially protecting the crash scene by directing traffic with their message boards on their trucks, they approached the vehicle to check for injuries. They found a young girl lifeless in the back seat, and together they removed her from the vehicle and began life-saving efforts. Troopers that arrived at the scene believe Zach and Ben's quick actions saved her life. Ben and Zach's heroism and selfless service reflect great credit upon themselves, the UDOT incident management team, and the state of Utah. I have had the pleasure of working with these fine people at UDOT, and I don't think many of us understand the day in and day out tasks asked of these UDOT workers. So today we want to recognize their hard work and dedication. They work in hazardous and harsh situations, and they must work around motorists that might be driving distracted or speeding. And they have to be able to react quickly. Regardless of the weather and situations, these men and women of UDOT are always there to put their lives at risk to make sure that all the road users are safe and always available when and if we need their help. Thank you, UDOT, for keeping Utah moving. I'd like to present Ben with his award. If you could come up to the podium. Thank you, Ben. Okay, and then I would like to present Zach with his award.
Thank you.
Okay, good job, boys. Up next is Megan. What was that? Oh, okay. All right. And then up next, we're going to have Megan Spackman to present Award of Merit.
Thank you. Thank you.
Next is our largest award category, the Award of Merit. The Award of Merit recognizes quality in occupational safety and health programs as measured by an outstanding safety performance. These companies who are below the national average for their industry over a 3-year period in lost time and total case incidence rates, which are compiled by the United States Department of Labor, Bureau of Labor Statistics. The following companies are being recognized with the Award of Merit: American Environmental and Engineering Consultants, AEEC. American Water. Ames Construction. Asahi Refining USA Incorporated. Bar Engineering Company, Salt Lake City office. Bodell Construction. Brock Services. Burdick Materials, a CRH company. Cedar City Hospital. Central Valley Water Reclamation Facility. Comfort Systems USA Intermountain. Delta Fire Systems. NIX USA. Fillmore Community Hospital. Granite Construction. Great Basin Industrial. Hales Sand and Gravel, a CRH company. Intermountain Healthcare Supply Chain. Jack B. Parson, a CRH company. Jordan Valley Water Conservancy District. Kern River Gas Transmission. Kroger Layton Dairy. Life Flight. McKay D. Hospital. Mechanical Service and Systems. Mill Creek Engineering Company. Mountain Regional Equipment Solutions. Nielsen Construction, a CRH company. North American Industrial Services. Northrop Grumman Mission Systems. Northrop Grumman Propulsion Systems. OC Tanner. Parker Commercial Flight Controls Division, Ogden. RNO Construction. Ralph L. Wadsworth. Reynolds Excavation, a CRH company. Rio Tinto Kennecott Copper Tailings and Water Services. Savage Services American Fork. Savage Services Bingham and Garfield. Savage Services Coal Service. Savage Services North Salt Lake. Savage Services Roosevelt. Savage Services Savage Energy Terminal. Savage Services Service Support Center. Savage Services Starpoint. Savage Services Sunnyside. Skyline Electric Company. Smithfield Hog Production, Milford, Utah. Smithfield. Staker Parson Materials and Construction, a CRH company. Teva Pharmaceuticals, Salt Lake City Operations. Thermo Fisher Scientific, Logan. Treehouse Foods Incorporated, Ogden, Utah plant. Trulight Glass and Aluminum Solutions, aluminum. Trulight Glass and Aluminum Solutions, glass. Wadsworth Brothers Construction. West Tech Engineering, LLC. Western Metals Recycling. Western Rock Products, a CRH company. Whitaker Construction Company. W.W. Clyde. And Unique. Congratulations to this year's Award of Merit winners. And now we'll hear from our president, John Wojciechowski, who will present the remaining awards.
Okay, very exciting. I'm here to present the Robert F. Parenti Individual Achievement and Safety Award. This is a very competitive category with almost a dozen qualified candidates. It was the board of directors struggled on who to give this to. They had to do it and they came through. So to tell you about this award is given each year to recognize dedication and personal motivation for safety in the workplace. This award is named after Robert Parenti, who spent 28 years as the president of the Utah Safety Council, and I've been living in a shadow ever since. Under his leadership, training programs were developed, membership grew, and the Utah Safety Council became the leader in safety training. I'm excited to announce the 2021 recipient of the Individual Achievement and Safety Award goes to Jim Reynolds. Yay. Jim is the weld shop manager at Barney Trucking in Salina, Utah, and Jim and his whole fan club came up from Salina today. So, but let me tell you about Jim. Jim is nominated by Craig Payne, the safety manager of Barney Trucking. Craig submitted a 20-page nominating report, and I brought it down to about 2 pages. So it's a lot, so buckle in. Jim has been raising the safety bar at Barney Trucking since 2009, 11 years, and has exceeded all expectations. Jim started with implementing a confined space training and respirator fit testing program for the weld shop personnel. He then went on to train every staff member. He organized an extraction team and trained them in first aid and CPR. He started a forklift inspection program and trained every shop employee in the safety procedures. He also created a picture file and folder as an aid in teaching safety awareness with pictures of actual safety hazards. Jim brought his quote to life, "Safety is everywhere." And I hope we hear Jim say that in a minute. He brought it to life with spot safety inspections of all shifts. Rewards from good inspections included donuts, breakfast burritos, or treats for those caught doing something right. Barney Trucking people are always catching others doing something right now. The act caught on like wildfire. Jim installed eye wash stations at all the locations. He compiled safety data sheets for all the chemicals and materials. Jim always has weekly safety meetings and developed meetings at all the satellite locations, including Elko, Nevada, Crockett Mountain, Utah, and Black Rock, Arizona. He provides quarterly maintenance safety reports detailing the training that took place. He implemented a fall protection policy and training program and tested harnesses, lanyards, and self-rescue ladders. Jim is always attending training at the Utah Safety Council, the WCF, UDOT, as well as OSHA and MSHA classes. He reached out to OSHA and worked with their consultation office to address areas to improve safety. Like, who reaches out to OSHA? But he did. I implemented a wellness program where each shift starts with stretching, light calisthenics, then a brisk walking around the building. Recently, he conducted noise level surveys and developed a hearing conservation program. Jim has been married 40 years, has 5 children and 9 grandchildren. And I want to conclude with how Craig concluded Jim's nomination. Jim is a credit to Barney Trucking and highly thought of throughout our community. Jim has positively impacted a great many lives through his hard work and dedication to family, work, church, and community. All right, please welcome Jim Reynolds to the podium to accept his award.
Congratulations. Did you prepare a 20-minute speech? Maybe 5 seconds. Friends tell me to get in, sorry. Thank you.
Yeah, come on up. Yep.
Wouldn't want to miss a chance like this. Thank you. This is quite an honor. It's been a pleasure to working with Barney Trucking and the Utah Safety Council. It's kind of an easy award because we have a great safety department and maintenance department managers, and they're here today, Craig Payne and Tyler Barney. Also, it's just a pleasure to be a part of the Barney Trucking team and Utah Safety Council. So thank you very much. Appreciate it.
Well, it's my understanding. So if we didn't say this, but Jim is an avid cyclist, very competitive, done these long, crazy races that Craig talked about in his nomination. So I know that the Barney Trucking people, they drove up, but I think Jim rode his bike last night. Is that right? All right, our award of honor. Every company who applies for the award of merit is considered for this award. The award of honor is the highest recognition for a company's commitment to workplace safety. The 2021 recipient of the award of honor is Cache Valley Electric. As Chris is coming up, Cache Valley Electric is owned by Jim Lamb, who is also the CEO. Long. Don't tell him I mispronounced. Okay. With 2,228 employees, which I hear now is closer to 3,000 across 50 states, Jim is quoted, "Employees are our greatest resource and keeping them safe comes first, always. Keeping the Cache Valley Electric family safe is our top priority. They have truly built a safety culture." Cache Valley Electric has reported below average lost time rates and below average case rates for the last 3 years. This is incredible with over 4 million man hours worked with over 2,200 employees. Cache Valley Electric has 0 lost time and less than 1 reportable case per year in an industry that averages over 20 lost time cases in a year. Cache Valley Electric performs heavy industry electrical contracting, commercial electrical construction, and power delivery and civil infrastructure. Their projects include the Pluralsight headquarters, the Utah State University Maverick Stadium, St. George Regional Hospital, Spanish Fork Regional Hospital, and the Salt Lake International Airport. Congratulations to Cache Valley Electric, Utah Safety Council's Award of Honor recipient. All right, come on up.
No, I'm good.
That was a hard no. All right, congratulations to all the award recipients and thank you for your commitments to safety. We do have a plan for the Merit Award winners on how to get your trophies to you, so you'll hear from us. When it's safe again, and I know I said this last year, but with all 400 of us, we hope next year we can get in a room together, have lunch, and do this thing proper. With that, I will invite Doug Martin back to the podium for his closing remarks and to adjourn the meeting.
Thank you, John. Thank you to each of you who have come in person or through the video. We're grateful to have a chance to spend a few minutes with you. Congratulations on behalf of the board to all those who received awards today. Thank you, Sheriff Rivera, for coming and spending time with us today. We're committed to this enterprise. We're grateful that there are people such as yourselves that will work in an industry that is difficult and perhaps dangerous, but are willing to make your safety and those who work for you a priority in your line of work. I'm grateful, as members of the board, I think would say if they were here today, to be able to speak on behalf of the board. Grateful to John and to Lora and Brandee and the team that you've seen today. This isn't their main job, putting on presentations like this, and they've done a fabulous job to sort of take this hybrid environment and still make it a priority to recognize those who have made safety such a priority. So thank you to each of you, and with that, we will adjourn the meeting and wish you the best day ever. Thank you.